Welcome to another video. This time we're going to cover the wall ball, a movement that is dreaded by many and mastered by few. This is going to be the last station at every HYROX race. And doing 100 wall balls after everything that you've done already is not an easy task. The wall ball is a very simple movement, but as we just said, it's not necessarily easy. Let's start with the movement standards. The men have to throw a 9-kilo wall ball over a 10-foot target in the pro division and a 6-kilo wall ball in the open division. Then the women have to throw a 6-kilo wall ball over a 9-foot target for the pro division and the 4-kilo wall ball over a 9-foot target for the open division. In order for the rep to count, your hip crease needs to be below parallel. That means when you're watching from the side, your hip crease needs to be clearly below the top of the knee. At the top, the center of the ball must touch above the line or at the target. Let's continue with the demonstration for the wall ball. We have Thiago today, who is kind enough to help us out with showing you how a perfect wall ball looks. The first thing we're going to do is establish the distance we want to position ourselves from the wall or from the target. What you can see here is we're using a target that is slightly offset from the upright. So it might be slightly different from when you're using a wall. The first thing Thiago is going to do, he's going to grab the wall ball and now he's going to extend his arms. And he wants to have this exact distance from the wall or here from our imaginary line where the wall ball target would sit. Once we have established the perfect distance, we're going to bring our feet into the position we're most comfortable squatting in, as we have described earlier. The next thing is we're going to hold the wall ball in front of our chest, making sure that our wrists are nice and straight and the wall ball is resting in the palm of our hand and that our hands are slightly underneath the wall ball. We don't want to have it so that it can fall through, but we don't want to go all the way under, so we have to overextend our wrists. So this is the exact position you want to hold the wall ball in most of the time you're doing wall balls. There might be a slight deviation, and this maybe holds true if the wall ball is very heavy for you. Let's say you're using a heavy wall ball, like the 30-pound wall ball for the guys and a 20-pound wall ball for the girls. You might want to hold it a bit more to the side, so you're able to support the wall ball on your wrist to reduce the impact on your shoulders, because otherwise you would have to hold the weight just supported by your shoulders. But as I said before, for most of the scenarios, you want to hold the wall ball close to your chest, just like this. Now we're going to do the actual wall ball. And as with all the other movements we've spoken about, the sequencing here is very important. The largest muscles you have in your body are sitting right around your hip. That is your thighs and your glutes. These are the muscles you would specifically want to use when you're doing wall balls, because they can generate much more power than just your shoulders. So to utilize them in the right way, you want to push through the floor with your leg and generate some speed there, and then just finish the throw with your arms and shoulders. So Thiago is going to pick up the wall ball now. His feet are already in the right position, his hands are positioned correctly, and now he's going to start throwing the wall ball at the target. And as you can see, he's building some speed out of the bottom of the squat, and then just finishing the throw with his arms. And relax. The last thing we talk about for the wall ball is how you return into your next repetition. So after the ball has touched above the line you're supposed to be throwing it over, you will either extend and grab the ball to slow it down to lessen the impact on your arms and shoulders that the ball has from the inertia coming down, or you bring your arms down in order to relax your arms a bit and catch it down low. Thiago is going to demonstrate 4 repetitions of each. The first one is he's going to extend and then decelerating the wall ball as it comes down. Okay, 4 repetitions and then decelerating the wall ball. This is one of the smoother techniques. And on the next one, he's going to bring his arms down and catch the wall ball lower. This might be a bit of a faster technique as it allows you to have a higher cycle rate. And one more. Nice. As you can see, the second technique is slightly faster. So over the course of 20 reps, you might take 1 repetition. And it also allows you to relax the shoulders a bit more as you're not having your arms above your head all of the time. Let's talk about training. The wall ball in essence is a squatting movement. That means training squats might have a positive effect on our wall ball performance. If we think of strength on a spectrum from absolute strength, which would be a 1 arm back squat, to absolute speed, which would be an all-out 30-meter sprint, the wall ball is somewhat in the middle. For most of you, the weight is light enough so you're not necessarily limited by absolute strength and more absolute strength endurance or even speed strength endurance. Wall balls is not just doing squats with the 9 kilo or 6 kilo ball. It's about generating as much momentum as necessary to throw the ball above the line. Therefore, we need to reach certain speeds of the squat. And we want to mimic this exact same cadence when we train for the wall balls. That means exercises we might want to use to improve our wall ball ability is something like the thruster that we will see usually used in CrossFit, where we can use it with, dumbbells, a barbell, or even kettlebells. If the wall ball feels rather heavy to you, you should start training with weights that allow you to modulate in order to meet your requirements to get stronger at this particular movement. If it's more the endurance side of things, these movements can also be used to improve your mechanics and also translate into wall ball performance. But then you might want to choose lower weights in order to be able to do larger sets. And the most obvious one is always doing more wall balls. Just by increasing your wall ball volume, you will be able to hold on to longer sets. As always, we also recommend implementing it with other HYROX specific stations. That means you could do intervals of rowing and wall balls, or even better, running and wall balls. Here's a workout you might want to consider if you struggle from going from a run into the wall balls. You could run 400 meters at your race pace and then complete 25 unbroken wall balls at your race weight. Then rest for 90 seconds and repeat this for 4 to 5 rounds. Let's finish this video by talking about the strategy for the wall balls. As we said before, once you arrive at the wall ball, you are already pretty tired. And this is something you want to take into consideration for your strategy. The worst thing that could happen to you is getting a lot of no reps. And it's easier to receive no reps as you get tired. That means by breaking up your sets early, you will always ensure that the quality of your reps is higher and you don't have to do that much extra work. One approach you might want to use is having fixed sets. Let's say you arrive at the wall ball station and you are set on doing 10 sets of 10. Here your rest would be rather flexible. That means you come in, pick up the wall ball, do your first set of 10 repetitions, let the wall ball drop to the ground after your last wall ball, and then rest for however you long need to be able to do another set of 10. This is something that could be maintained for all of the 20 reps. Another approach that you could use is reps in reserve. Here you want to gauge how many additional reps you could have done at the point you have stopped the set. For the wall ball, this is highly subjective, and we usually recommend around 2 reps in reserve. That means you come into the station and you do as many wall balls as you think you can until you have maybe 2 more that you could do until you would reach failure, and then you rest. Again, the rest is not fixed, so you would just rest for as long as you think you need to your next set. This is everything you need to know about the wall ball. If you have any questions, let us know down below, and also make sure to check out our HYROX program in the description. See you in the next one.